share my screen really quick and go first just to, this is sort of a temporary website we made during COVID because things are a little bit different during COVID, and we're doing a little bit different things. So we have sort of a temporary site we're using right now. I wanted to just show you that these are the initiatives that we work under in terms of our funding. Our nonprofit is called Reality Improv Connection. I'm the founder, and it started from my love of theater and wanting to make a difference in the world using what I felt was my gift and my passion. So I was doing applied improvisation and social change theater as a way of getting community discussion and exploring issues and ways for change. And the County Behavioral Health Department started back in 2005 with contracts. So we've been contracting with behavioral health prevention services around these 6 initiatives. And since then, we also contract with the County Office of Ed and some of the school districts, including Conejo Valley Unified School District, to support their TUPE grants. So through the Tobacco Use Prevention Education Program, we are sort of the youth engagement side of that, because to get the grants, you need to really involve the community and have youth not just being lectured to, not just educating them, but actually hearing what they have to say and giving them voice and empowering them. And so we support the schools and the districts with that kind of work in addition to education, but we try to make the education as interactive and engaging as possible and support teachers who are, so we're meant to be a resource. So, our focus around marijuana is around the developing teen brain and the impacts on young people. The vaping focuses both on tobacco and nicotine. We're really under the prescription drugs. There really truly is an opioid crisis, and a lot of overdoses happening related to fentanyl, which is an opioid. So we're really trying to help the whole community. Our target population for youth to engage is 12 to 25, just like your age group, Rosalinda. But also that means if we're going to improve outcomes for those young people, we've also got to engage the community. We also need to engage parents. And so the opioids dangers is really a big one. And then under health disparities, we're focused on working with vulnerable populations, whether that be people of color or LGBTQ or families that live in, with difficult income status and such. So hearing what they have to say and bringing their needs and expressing what they need to the table is where we, where the health disparities issues come in. We've worked with Oxnard with exploring, using photo voice, which is sort of a digital storytelling, exploring racism as a social determinant of health with youth of color in Oxnard. And we're finding that just young people really can connect with either using art or using photography as a way of expressing themselves and sort of starting to look at what's going on in their lives, like what's normal for them, and is that really normal, or can they change what feels normal in their lives? And so it's really been a blessing and powerful to work with amazing young people. We're working with in a lot of different ways. I'll show you into my little avatar world we created when COVID hit and Zoom isn't enough. But I want to show you a couple different ways we work. So we are in classrooms right now, actually at Newbury Park High School. We have Roland doing some presentations with our prevention games. So this page is really where you can actually come in and play the game online. So teachers have been, during this time, sometimes instead of having us come in and use the keypads and putting them in teams, some of the teachers are having the students come in here and play them. But we also are able to do it in Zoom or in the platform that the schools use, where they can, get that discussion and that education, but in a fun and interactive way. It surprises me, even tough-looking high school boys just totally get excited and into the games, and that feels great. And then we also have a lot of little quizzes and things that can be shared on a phone, where you can just get a little dose of good information or helpful reminders or play a little quiz. So we've been developing these, and young people have been helping us, providing artwork for it or sharing with us what they think needs to be shared. So there's some sort of examples of what we bring to the classroom interactively, and also what teachers can use as a resource, especially right now when they're not able to be live with the students. I think a lot of what we will do, especially the countywide things, will continue to happen in BRITE World and online, just because it's been a great way to gather youth. A couple of our other presentations, Media Marketing in Your Mind, is focused on modern media, like looking at social media and memes and all the actual ways that for example, the tobacco or the marijuana industry, or how they're being influenced. And so it's really a way of looking at like, how does social media and how are things marketed today, to give them that sort of perspective. And with it, it includes a lot of education around vaping and tobacco and marijuana. Actually, tonight we're doing the Vaping, What Parents Need to Know in Simi Valley. So we have a webinar that we do. There's a recorded version of one of the sessions on our page, but really helping parents understand like the reality. It's surprising how many parents think it's actually just water vapor and don't really realize. We're also working throughout the county around cultural competencies, so diversity, inclusion, and helping parents and educators, that want to be supportive but still feel a little lost when it comes to issues around gender and pronouns and such. So we're trying to help teachers and parents understand how they can be supportive and allies. So several different workshops, and starting where we did from our reality improv, we're always improvising. So we're always like, what is a new way of doing something? What else can we do? So we really love when we hear from a school or a class or an organization that's saying, how can we partner? This is what we want to do. And then we love to, make up new things. And so an example of that I'm going to share right quick is BRITE World. So Zoom doesn't work for everybody, and the students, many of them don't want to be on camera. So we've been working hard exploring and creating this 3D environment where we can interact as avatars. That's me. You notice I look younger and a little gorgeous than I might in real life, but that's okay. The scene, we have about 40 actually different scenarios in there where we can, play a wipeout challenge, where they can play board games. We have wellness centers that we're building. And I just picked to show you this one as an example, because this is our reality party for parents. I don't know if any of you have attended the ones that we've hosted in the city of Thousand Oaks, where parents can take a tour through a teen drinking party and really learn how do they have relevant discussion with their young people around these issues, and what are the things that kids are how are they getting away with things, and really trying to help change the culture among parents in a way that'll support change for kids. So, and they always want to bring their kids in, and yet it's not always kid appropriate. So in BRITE World, we've been able to create a couple different versions of the reality party situation. So there's a version where the students can come in and they can get student relevant information, and the parents can also do their event. We're going to have some live actors even that can interact with them. So in April, we're already partnering with people in Conejo to get this going. So I'm just going to show you a couple examples of how things happen. So for example, when you click on something in BRITE World, I don't think my sound is coming. It might take you to a website that'll have helpful. This one's set up for parent information, but it could also take them to a video. Or here's a great, this one is a great video. It's going to be a little slow because I'm zooming at the same time that I'm doing this. So this is the video from the Surgeon General. That's really a great little ad around, the risks that parents letting their kids experiment and be the guinea pigs these days. So I just want to show you just one more little thing. We have these little kind of quizzes that we can put in BRITE World. And so one of the things that young people have been doing for their peers is creating sort of a scavenger hunt. So they come into it, they interact with a little bit of prevention content, like the dangers of energy drinks and mixing energy drinks with alcohol, for example. And then if they get the question right, oh, this one's got a little more text than I meant to show you, but if they get the question right, then it gives them a, oh, this one's not the right example. It gives them a clue to where the next question is. So they're running around into these various areas of Bright World where they're able to answer questions, get a little education, but also be fun and competitive. So I would love to talk with the Teen Center a bit, you know, about how I know that there's a lot of young people that want to be peer mentors. And I also know that there's young people that would just love to host a chess club. And we do have, we've done some great parent events with the Teen Center there in Thousand Oaks, where we had some really great youth and parents together. And I would love to do something more like that, maybe a combination of happening in Zoom as well as happening in Bright World. So I just want to kind of throw that out there as we have this really cool resource. We're putting together both parent and youth activities, and I'd love to hear, you know, from other agencies of ways that we can partner.